a bit about your life and, you know, things that you've done that are significant?
Well,
Or,
of course, I was in the service, and I'm very proud of that. I'm not proud of what we had to do, but I am proud of being there serving my country during World War II. And of course, after that, it was a matter of further my education when I got out, because I didn't get to finish high school. They drafted me out of high school. And so when I came back, why I worked for the summer, then I went to college, and of course I didn't stay very long in college because I got me a job, but college was very important because it started me back on the learning process instead of just jumping out of the Navy into work. I had an opportunity to develop some learning skills and study skills and such as that, which was very started carrying mail then, and it was a good real turning point in my life, because I was able to meet people face to face and develop a skill for talking to a person directly, and I thought that was probably one of the best learning tools or best learning experiences that I had, was the fact that I was able to was ordained into the ministry, and along with my regular job, I was a volunteer pastor for congregations.
at the point in your life where you started a family, was there any like significant changes or attitudes that you had to?
Of course, being a minister also, why it made me realize that there was needs for other people that I could help, and that also extended my understanding of life and my responsibilities. Worked hard for our family. These times were not easy. Money was not something that came real easy, but I was a person that could adapt to almost any type of a job situation, so I would work at anything I could work at to bring in money to retire family life. Of course, things slow down a lot, excepting for medical stuff. You're always busy with figured pills and doctor's appointments and things like that. But thank the Lord, we're still capable of taking care of ourselves, and we're able to also see the needs of some others and able to help them along in the support type of lives that we live now.
In your transition from your working family part of life into being retired and stuff, were there any struggles that you dealt with?
Well, not too many, because when we retired, our children were grown and somewhat able to support themselves, and they were we think we did a pretty good job in raising our children, because they were all responsible people, and so that made it a lot easier on us, because we didn't have to worry about them all the time.
So now that you're in your later part of life, what do you see as your purpose and goals for the rest of your time?
Well, of course, much of our life is maintenance now, because we're both in our 80s, and so that's, I think, I don't know whether it's a goal or not, but it's one of our desires, and that is to keep close to our children and be able to see our children develop, and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, and I think that's probably one of the most pleasurable things of our life, is the fact that we do have a family that we can that we can lean on, and who we love and they love us.
Mhm.
I think family, of course, is probably the greatest blessing that any person can have, is to
Yeah.
have a family that get along together and love to be together and support
Do you
one
have any regrets about anything you did or didn't do in your life? Things you wish you would have done differently?
I do not have any regrets. Like I say, that with the family, there's always been support, and so I think that you have to have ups and downs. I mean, your life is not easy. It's not something that just that's always roses. But when you're able to surmount the obstacles that are in your way while you develop and grow, that's a process of life and process of development. Thankful that the good is better than the bad. So,
Yeah. Is there any advice that you would give to younger generations?
well, one of the big advices that I would give would be education. It seems that there's so many young people now that drop out of school and I don't, that stuff that they're teaching doesn't mean anything to me and things like that. I was fortunate because I only had 1 year of college, and but I was fortunate enough to get into a stable employment with my career. With hard work, why everything developed good. But I would say that being not too set in your ways, in your thinking and in your desires. I mean, broaden them out, broaden your understanding so that you can kind of bend with the wind, I guess you'd say. That's really important, and of course, I believe that having faith in the Lord to guide you and direct you in these different situations is probably the greatest blessing that I've had. I've always felt that the Lord was with me and was directing me on the paths that I went, even in some of the opportunities of employment that I had. And you can see back now, looking back on things, see how you were directed in a certain
What
way.
would you say to younger people about dealing with loss and grief in your life?
Here again, this is where the Lord comes in. If you have a faith in God and His purposes, then a lot of the griefs and things that come upon you, you'll find out later are blessings actually. Not necessarily if it's tragedies and things like this, but even in a tragedy, you find out that you grow, and you're able to understand more, and maybe it'll bring you to the point where you understand other people better. So I think that adversity, death, injuries, sorrow, it's all part of our development here on this earth, and when they, like I say, when they come to us, that we ought to lean to God for strength and understanding, and we'll grow from it, find out.
What do you think are your best highlights in life? What made you the happiest or most memorable?
Oh, when we had our children, of course, that was a big highlight. When Ruth and I met and got married, it was a very special time. And let's see, other things. When I got a hole in one. It's our 60th wedding anniversary, of course, that was a highlight.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say about aging and wisdom in life?
Oh, well, I think probably I've covered a lot of that in there. Yeah, we're just thankful that we've been healthy enough to live to the older stage in our life without being bedridden and things
Thank you
like
for
that.
your time.
Oh, well, yeah, you're welcome. I you know, I wish that I could maybe help you more.
Oh, I think you did a wonderful job.